天使創造リブート
I bitched about it, and they finally gave it to me. I mean, you know, I was expecting like something Amane would wear or Kurumi, but you know, I did bring up Noah, so I guess they answered my they answered. The next day. And that about sums it up.
それと一点、情報共有がてら補足します。
Oh, right. What is it?
視覚の身柄は今朝方あっちに送っています。
Yeah, but like... Really? Okay. I mean, I guess I could see you doing that if it would mean exposing Kaguya's brother. Right? So, you know what, I'll let them cook but I swear to God, if you just sent them back without doing anything more, kind of a stupid thing to do.
まさかこの短期間で二人も送り返すことになるとは思わなかったわね。いずれも姫様直属の部下が身柄を確保していますので、どうかご安心ください。以上です。
Aha, okay, that's slightly better than doing nothing. Thanks. That really is a relief to hear. We've gathered all the concerned parties at Kaguya's place and to explain what happened yesterday. This is far too serious a matter to keep it a secret. I'm sure you all must be shocked, but... Am I not going to get any reaction?
いや、ごめん。薄いっていうか。むしろ、あまりの驚きに頭が固まってしまっていた。いや、視覚の話だけだったら、私たちも経験済みだから大丈夫だったんだけど。谷風くんが魔法を使ったっていうのがもうほんと驚いて、何それってね。
Okay, yeah, that's the part they're surprised about.
本当ですよ。前世返りして私たちに迷惑を及ぼすだけの不能にだと思ってたのに。
Kohibari, I get, but you, Amane? Are you trying to pick a fight, or do you want to make me cry?
いや、それほど驚いたということだろう。さっきも言ったけど、僕ですら驚愕したくらいだからね。魔法を使っただけでも驚きなのに、しかもそれがマナを強制的に抑制するものとは。
I mean, is it that? What's the word? Is it that surprising that sort of magic exists?
もちろん自分のマナもなんだよね。前世返りしないで撃てたんなら。そこが本当に驚愕だ。先日怒ってはしまったけど、これは間違いなくリクとかぐやで行っていた特訓の成果なのだろうね。だから僕は詫びるべきだろう。一方的に正論をぶつけてすまなかった。
Okay. Listen, no, you don't need to apologize, first of all. Second of all, I guess, technically, they're not wrong. I think the biggest reason as to why Riku was able to do that was because of his feelings for Kaguya, right? And his desire to protect her in that very moment. Right? And those feelings definitely developed during the training. So you're technically not wrong, but chalking it up to being solely because of the training as to why he was able to do that is, you know, it's too simple of a reason, of an explanation. Nah, we were to blame for that. I appreciate it though.
とにかくお兄、その魔法使ってみせてよ。
Huh? What do you mean? What you mean now?
僕からも頼みたい。確認は必要だと思う。ああ、昨日たまたまビギナーズラックで使えただけなのか、それともってね。
Okay, I guess this, if he's able to do the magic suppressing magic again, I guess it wouldn't be solely because of his desire to protect Kaguya, right? So then the training helped a lot more than I give it credit for. But if he isn't able to, then I was right.
その通り。使えるようになったなら、とても大きな進歩だからね。マナを抑制するものであれば、今ここで試しても危険はない。リク、改めて頼めるかな。
I glance over at Kaguya. Kaguya?
いえ、ごめんなさい。だったら、私が実験台になるわ。それが一番わかりやすいでしょ？
With that, Kaguya forms a small ball of fire in her palm. I get it. In erasing those flames, I'll be showing everyone how my magic works. Since Kaguya volunteered herself, I assume she also wants to confirm that I can do this. It'd be really since... Wait, what? It'd be really since if this were something I can do at will. I don't know how to fix that. Hang on, let me... Since Kaguya volunteered herself, I assume she also wants to confirm that I can do this. It'd be really... Okay, yeah, no, I don't know how to fix that. Since they send another assassin after Kaguya, my ability to use magic could greatly change how things play out. Yeah, but like if the only magic you can use is magic suppression, then the assassins could just bring over someone like Aurier, and there goes your plan. It gets thrown out the window. I nod and thrust my palm out toward Kaguya, just like I did before. No, wait. I need to recall how it felt. That sensation of the mana forming together, answering my pleas in the moment I reached out. Fortunately, I remember exactly how it felt. All I have to do is allow the fire inside me to burn while keeping it focused on this specific task. I can do this. I have to be cringe about it. Subside. I release my magic, and Kaguya's ball of flames immediately disappears. Well, at least it works. So I guess I will give the training a lot more credit. Maybe not a lot more. I'll give it more credit than I gave it before.
消えた？じゃあ…私は魔法を使えない状態にされているわ。
Don't look at me like that. It makes it look like you're in on it.
かといって、生命活動に支障が出るくらい、マナを消されたわけじゃない。感覚としては、体の外に出ないように抑え込まれている、というところかしら。確かに、魔法を使っているにもかかわらず、陸の中の魔王のマナも抑え込まれているね。
Well, yeah, he's also suppressing his own mana with the magic. And personally, I think that's the key highlight here. It feels to me like this magic is an extension of me learning to suppress my mana.
それを他者にも強制する。改めて、とんでもない魔法ね。つまりお兄の魔法は、ジャミングみたいなことをしてるってことでいいの？
Yeah, but here's the thing, Ryan. It's great that Riku knows how to use magic and all, even though it's only one form of magic, which is a very advanced form that I assume isn't really that easy to learn, right? Obviously, but that's the problem. That's the other problem. It's the only form of magic he can use. It's the only form of magic he knows at the moment. Maybe they can teach him to learn to use other magic. But yeah. He's only got at the moment he's only got a nullifying magic, and it would only work against magic users, right? The magic user assassins.
ジャミング？
ああ、通信のための電波を電波で妨害するみたいなことです。要するに妨害電波っていうか。
ああ、なるほど。確かに、そのイメージが一番近いかもしれないわ。他者に害をなすレベルのマナ操作。つまり、魔法の行使を妨害する魔法なのだから。
ということは、鬼スペシャルスペル、その名もマジックジャマーってとこだね。
Magic? I mean, look, Magic Jammer is pretty cool. It's a lot cooler than Subside. Also, if you're hearing some rustling, I got a package. But why is it spelt? In the localized version, I should say. Why is it spelt in a way that works in katakana? Right? You could have just translated it to Magic Jammer, but you kept Majiku and Jama. Listen, I know there are a lot of words that sound bad if you use hard R. One specific word, in fact, but jammer is not a slur. So I don't think you need to use the soft A version. That name is so cringe. It's a lot better than Subside, alright.
私に言われてもな、効果をそのまま英語にしただけだし。まあ、名前は何でもいいよ。
Yeah, but that's the problem. That's the problem, Amane. You are anime.
とにかくリクはもうこの魔法をいつでも自分の意志で使えるようになっているのが分かった。
And Noah looks around at everyone, and we all nod at her in return.
つまり、今後。
If any more assassins appear, I could just use magic to...
そういうのもあるだろうけど、僕が言いたかったのは違う話だよ。
Huh?
他者のみならず、自分のマナすら抑えられる手段を獲得したんだ。
I mean, you know that the magic jammer was just a fluke. I still need training from Kaguya to help me suppress my mana. You know. Damn. I can't use the magic anymore.
つまり今後、前世返りや暴走の危険性はまずなくなったと見ていい。
So does that mean he can get hard again?
僕の力がなくても、だ。
Oh, that's what you meant.
というわけで。
Well, I guess. I mean, she's not gonna leave forever. I hope, but she's definitely leaving earlier than I expected. Wings burst from Noah's back and spread out wide. Then she plucks a single feather from them. Oh wait, no, that's not what she was getting at. I thought she was saying that she was leaving. No, she's just doing the feather thing again. fucking Christ. Whoa, what are you doing?
前も言っただろ。この翼は天の力の権限。だからこれは、その力を少し分けただけだよ。痛みなどはないから安心して。
Okay then.
では。はい、リク。
What did you just hand me? Why did she just hand me her feather? For a manifestation of heavenly power, it sure doesn't feel or weigh any different than a normal feather. Well, it's cleaner, at least.
それにマナを注げば、僕に念話が通じるし、空間座標もわかるから、目印にして転移するのも可能だ。
It's also this game's way of allowing Noah to be apart from Riku so that Riku can date girls outside of, apart from Noah and Amane. You know, without, what am I trying to say? You know, Noah no longer has to be the third wheel. Right? That's what the feather indicates. Oh, cool. It's like an emergency summoning bell or something.
今までのように、つきっきりである必要もなくなったからね。
I mean, you know, she says this, and I guess it made sense in Orie and Fumika's route, right? Because at least in those routes, Noah was actually with Riku the most of the time, right? Sure, obviously there were times where Noah wasn't with Riku directly, but you know, whenever Orie and Riku were together in the apartment, Noah was outside. You know, maybe around the area, or you know, outside of Orie's room. With Fumika, Noah was at the school. Here, we have a scene specifically where Kaguya and Riku are alone together. So all I'm saying is, if it wasn't for that scene where Noah very specifically wasn't there, then, you know, the feather makes a lot less sense. That's all I'm gonna say. Huh?
以後、僕のことは気にせずに行動してくれていいということだよ。何かあれば、その羽を使ってくれ。
Of course, now that I'll be fine on my own, there's no need for Noah to always be with me. Yeah, but listen, this is what I'm trying to get at. We have two scenes, right? The first one was when Riku came over to Kaguya's house after a week of them not training, and the scene right after where they basically went on a date. In both scenes, Noah was not there, right? And there wasn't ever a moment before those scenes where Riku explicitly states to Noah that he wants to see Kaguya alone, or something similar like that. So what I'm trying to get at, I mean, I already said it before, the feather makes a lot less sense in this route than it did in Fumika and Orie's. But that means that, well, from now on, I glance over at Kaguya upon my realization.
姫様、私にもスマホを持たせたのは、緊急時の簡便な連絡手段としてだったはずでは。
Orie, I thought you already, you already gave Riku your blessing to date Kaguya.
確かに昨日も、すぐ織江に連絡をつけられていたら。
I mean, I know that's what they're getting at, right? With how Kaguya didn't contact Orie, but look, my argument there, she didn't have time. She was fighting off an assassin. I mean, I guess they talked, right? The Kaguya and the assassin talked, but I don't think the assassin would have allowed her to pull out her phone mid-conversation or mid-fight.
その通り。私はもっと早く駆けつけられたはずなのです。
Kaguya is standing there dejectedly as Oria lectures her. But then Oria shrugs.
ですが、そうではなかったからこそ、谷風さんが魔法に目覚められたのも確かです。
織江。
今後も兄君から、視覚が差し向けられる可能性はゼロではありません。
Correct. So, you know, surely you did more than just send that assassin back to be handled with by people that Kaguya trusts. Right?
ですが、どうあれあっちからの視覚ならば、谷風さんの魔法が極めて有効なはずです。それこそ、私が姫様のおそばにおりますよりも、はるかに。
Because here's the thing, right? Not only is the king not dead, but Kaguya is a lot more popular, and if it was exposed that Kaguya's brother sent an assassin to try kill her, then wouldn't that make her even more popular, make him even less popular? I mean, sure, I guess you'd draw a bigger target on Kaguya's back, but that didn't stop her brother from trying to kill her before. You know? I mean, I understand that she doesn't want to be queen, but would you really want... Because here's the thing. There is a responsibility on Kaguya to make sure... Look, even if she doesn't want to be queen, she also needs to make sure her brother does not become king. Right? With that, Orie turns to face me and bows deeply.
なので、谷風さん。今後、姫様をよろしくお願いいたします。
Oh, I don't really like that implication. I don't like the idea that it feels like you're passing on the torch. You know, maybe we could protect her together. Just while Riku and Kaguya are on a date, that's when he protects her. But yeah, you get what I mean.
できましたら可能な限り、姫様のおそばにはべっていていただければ、私も安心です。
Okay, well, maybe when they're dating, that would be more reasonable, but they aren't going out yet. So, you know, you can still protect her from time to time. Like, you know, she's still living with you. You're still living with her. So, right. And besides, I already brought up that, you know, they could bring an assassin that doesn't use magic. And, well, Riku can't really do much there. Now it's Orie's turn to give Kaguya permission to act separately to her. I never would have seen this coming. Because here's the thing. Now, you know what? I'm not bringing it up again. Orie is doing the same thing as Noah's doing, but just like with Noah, Orie wasn't there. But that means Kaguya and I can be alone together as much as we want. Except for the fact that you and Kaguya were alone together last night. And that's the reason why the assassin attacked. Because you were alone together. The very thought makes emotion rage within my chest. Crap. How am I supposed to look her in the eye now? She'll definitely have realized the same thing. I really want to see how she's reacting. But I can't bring myself to look at her right now. I'll just have even more thoughts racing through my mind if I do.
二人ともどうしたんだろう。
Holy shit, I didn't even realize she was speaking until that tiny squeak out of her voice.
すみません。私もよくわからず。私が申し上げたことに 何か問題が?
Well, you know, the silver lining here, right? Other than the fact that it's kind of silly of them to act like now they can finally only now that Kaguya and Riku can finally be alone together, is that Orie has given even more of her blessing to Riku.
おー。こりゃどう見ても確定ですよね。
だよね。二人とも完全に。
I mean, what gave it away?
なんだろうな、この複雑な心境。
でも、ここで私が意を唱えるのもなんか違うし。
Okay, listen. I get. Well, here's the thing. I don't know if Kurumi likes Riku. I mean, like, in that way, right? But we know Amane does. And, I mean, okay, I was gonna say, I guess, you know, Kurumi, every day at school always sits on Riku's desk. That doesn't necessarily mean that that she likes him in that way, right? So, you know, it would have made more sense if I did Kurumi's route first to see how she actually feels about him before they start dating. I don't know. Never mind.
っていうか、大丈夫なんですかね、この二人。
They'll be fine.
大丈夫って何が？
今後の展開的な意味で、こんな調子なの見せられちゃうと先行きが不安に。
まあ、男と女だし、自然の成り行きでどうにかなるんじゃないの？
なります？
Maybe not. You know, maybe it's a good idea if you two, you know, helped them out a bit.
ペッティングだけでもできれば違うんだろうけど。
Foreplay. Listen, foreplay is very late in the development, right? Usually it's very late in development, right? Usually that stuff happens right before the main event. So, you know, I don't think they're equating. I don't think they're giving foreplay the importance that it deserves. Never mind.
ペッティングって。
今のなし！忘れて！違うから！ただのジョークだから！
Okay, maybe Kurumi was the only one doing that.
この人はこの人で大丈夫なのかな？
Yeah, and also the one I'm most interested in, because, well, yeah, she's the one I'm most interested in.
天使創造リブート。
We've still only seen 3 transitions. We've seen her regular uniform Kaguya, we've seen swimsuit Kaguya, and we've seen Noah Kaguya. That brings us to the following day. Kaguya and I have come to Rockabay Beach, just the two of us. Ah, Rockabay Beach. Wasn't that the beach that he went to with Fumika? Went to with Fumika?
これでよし。塞げたわ。
We did so in order to erase the vestiges of the gate used when the assassin came here, and the one used in sending him back. It wasn't something we could leave alone, and yet it also wasn't something that took all that much time. Which means we've already finished our business here, so, well, yeah. Oh, right, good job. Unless, okay, here's the thing. Maybe I'm mixing up the names of the beach that Fumika and Riku went to with the one in their town. Because like, okay, the background they're using is the same as the background of the beach that they have in town, right? And then the portal shit is the same as well. So I think I mixed them up.
いえ、これだけのためにわざわざ付き合わせてごめんなさいね。
Because all I'm saying is, unless the fucking assassin walked all the way over here, I don't think he knows the concept of a train. Don't sweat it. I was kind of honored that you asked. I mean, you heard what Orye said. She wanted me with you as much as possible.
そうだったわね。
But, you know, Orye being Orye, she's kind of a bit too dense to realize what that actually meant. The full extent of what that meant. I'm still finding it hard to look her in the eyes. In fact, I'm so hyper-focused on everything I'm doing that I can tell how awkwardly I'm coming across. Can you blame me? Last time we had everyone with us, but now we're alone. What's more, it's, well, you know, yeah. As soon as I heard we'd be coming to the beach, my mind started racing, and I might have made some preparations. I'm hopeless. That's the whole reason I'm acting so awkward. But it's not like I can casually bring it up. I don't want her to think that I planned this from the start. What if I'm the only one who did? I'll look like such a fool.
ところで、リク。
What is it?
どうあれまた海に行くんだからって、私、いえ、念のためによ。念のために、一応、水着も持ってきているんだけど。
Of course, Kaguya has more balls than Riku does.
バカみたいよね。一人でそんな、今日は海水浴する予定なんかなかったのに。
Well, truth is, I, also brought my swimsuit, just on the off chance. Kaguya stiffens up, the breath catching in her throat. Her reaction immediately sends my mind into overdrive. Silence descends as we stand there, unable to look at each other, or look at the other. However, we've both brought our swimsuits, which means there's no way we're going straight home, right?
今日ここに来たのは、ゲートを塞ぐためだったけど、無事に終わったし。
Why not have some fun while we're here? And since we both brought our swimsuits...
そうね。そうしましょう。そうしないと、水着もかわいそうよね。
It'd be boring to go straight home. We may as well make the most of it.
ええ。なら、早速着替えましょう。気が変わらないうちに。
I sure hope Amani and Kurumi aren't spying on them. Yeah, I couldn't have put it better myself. I'm pretty sure she's acting just as awkwardly as I am. But either way, we managed to come to an agreement. We split up to go to our respective changing rooms. Naturally, I finished changing first, leaving me to wait anxiously for Kaguya.
お待たせ、リク。
The very moment I hear her voice behind me, I spin around. I can't believe I was struggling to look at her mere moments ago. The shock of a lifetime makes the breath catch in my throat. In fact, I think I've stopped breathing altogether, I've seen her in this before. So I guess it's because I'm aware of how I feel about her now. Forget Virgin Killer. She could kill even the most seasoned playboy with looks like those. I mentally tremble from her overwhelming beauty. The swimsuit is still far less revealing than the clothes she wears from her home world. So, why do I feel so... why do I find it so captivating? Is it because it's one continuous item clinging tightly to her frame, highlighting all the lines and curves of her body? Well, that's definitely... You pointed it out. You figured it out. Maybe it's because it makes it apparent how soft she is. A softness I've already felt felt pressed all up against me.
黙って見られてしまうと、どうしていいのかわからなくなるわ。
Sorry, I couldn't help it.
やはりあなたはあっちの服の方が好みなの?
Look, the truth is both outfits have their own appeal. Alright, one is more revealing, while one clings to the skin more. Only now do I realize how my comment on her overwhelmingly captivating swimsuit must have come across the last time we were here. To be honest, for you, I like looking at you in your other outfit more. That was damn insulting. Okay, I mean, I guess the way you phrased it, it might come off as insulting, but you're thinking too hard into it. You're thinking too deeply about it. I mean, I know what I was thinking. Those clothes gave me a real great view of her plunging cleavage, and all the glimpses of skin were brilliant. I still feel that way. But that's beside the point. Kaguya's tits aren't the only attractive thing about her. I need to look at the bigger picture. As much as I wish I could slap my past self in the face, now is the perfect moment, the perfect time to make up for it. I'm sorry.
Rick...
I'd like to withdraw my previous statement. I was too focused on just one thing.
というと?
Your tits. I told you that I liked how much skin I could see in the view of your deep cleavage.
そこまで言ってはいなかったような。
But now I can confidently say that everything about your swimsuit has me captivated. Look, he may not have said it directly, but that's what he was implying with when he said that he preferred your other outfit. Boobs aren't the only appeal of a girl like you. It never was. I find everything about you attractive, Kaguya. Your swimsuit makes that even more apparent. You look dazzling.
Rick...
It's only proper manners to compliment a girl. I know that, so I'm sorry for what I did. You look amazing in that swimsuit. More attractive than ever. Okay, well, you're going a bit too far with that one. Now the implication is that she doesn't look as attractive as she doesn't look nearly as attractive. Well, nearly. She doesn't look as attractive in her Shrine Maiden outfit. I sort of lost control there, but at least I managed to get it all out there. My cheeks are burning hot. They must be bright red. Part of me feels like I might have gone too far. Perhaps I said things I should have kept to myself. Is she creeped out? Like I said, it's not that deep. You know, sometimes he doesn't go far enough with his thinking, right? And other times he overthinks. Huh? Kaguya? She immediately starts giggling, which leaves me at a loss.
ありがとう。そんなに真っ赤になって、一生懸命褒めてくれて。
She liked it?
こちらこそごめんなさい。遅ればせながらだけど。あなたの水着姿も、とても魅力的よ。
And now that the tension has been dissolved, now that the tension has been dissolved, Kaguya can go back to her teasing personality. Kaguya.
スマートなのにしっかり筋肉がついていて、 少年のような可愛らしさと男らしさを感じて。本当に、あなたの魅力が溢れ、って、これでは体型を褒めているだけだわ。水着姿を褒めるのは難しいものなのね。頑張って褒めてくれて、改めてありがとう、リク。
Well, listen, you look, isn't, I don't even, what am I trying to say? Isn't the point of a swimsuit to accentuate the, areas? Never mind. Oh, you too. You know, here's the thing. Practically speaking, what's the point of a bikini? Right? It is two pieces of clothing that, sure, I guess because of the material that they were made from, makes it easier for you to swim in, but I mean, you know, with that little clothing, look. It's the same as when people bring up bikini armor in RPGs, or, you know, in JRPGs and shit, where it's like, okay, practically speaking, this outfit is very useless. You know, you would never be caught dead wearing something like this in the real world, but the only reason you use it is, other than because it probably has better stats than most of the other armor in the game, it's because the character looks hot in it. So, the same thing applies with the swimsuit. Same thing applies with male swimsuits too, but mainly speaking, females, you get what I mean. Crap. I'm over the moon. My heart is pounding like a drum. Somehow, I know that she's not just being nice. She said all that because she truly means it. And here's the thing, right? I only brought up a bikini, but a one piece does the same thing. Right? There's a reason it is made. One, to help with swimming, but two, they are made to accentuate thicker areas of the female body. Right? Because they're more skin tight. Sort of. Who knew how unbearably happy it would make me to get complimented on my physical appearance by a girl I like? Does that mean that Kagi's been feeling the same way I am? It took you long enough?
ところで、ね
She peers at me through upturned eyes, smiling happily. Do you want sunscreen to be applied to you? She tells me she's been a little nervous since we met up today, but it would seem she's back on form now.
前の海水浴では、あなたに周囲の視線から守ってもらったわよね。
Oh, yeah, sure. Personally, it felt like Kaguya was just having fun teasing me by walking arm in arm with me, but I digress. Are they going to do it again? It got all the people trying to hit on her to leave us alone, so results-wise, at least she's not wrong. Naturally, Kaguya's already getting looks from all directions. Sure, I can handle that. You won't be getting hit on today either.
ありがとう。それも頼みたかったんだけど。
There's more?
前は大勢で、今日はあなたと二人っきりでしょ？
Okay. Do you want him to apply sunscreen to you?
だから、あなたにしか頼めないの。
Uh-huh. I've seen this trope before. Okay. Ask what?
これ。
Kage produces a bottle of something from her bag and holds it out to me. The moment I realize what's going on, my heart starts to race. Is she really asking me to... This is suntan lotion, right? It's close enough.
ええ。前は日焼け止めを塗ってもらったけど、今日はせっかくだから、少し肌を焼いてみたくて。
It's funny that a lot of the times for this trope it is suntan lotion, even though they never tan, right? They have the same skin color before the trope and as well as after, right? So the tan that they would have gotten from sitting out in the sun with it on, yeah, it never amounts to anything.
スネーウ国は山国で、日差しも強くないから、日焼けしたくてもできないし。
Right. So,
私一人では全身に塗りきれなかったの。
is this going to be another CG that they censor in the all ages version that I'll use and that I'll see in the full list of CGs and realize that it isn't as lewd as I thought it would be? Right? Because with the Kaguya one, with the quote unquote secret training CG, they don't really get as NSFW as I thought. Right? Like the furthest they went was the second time around, where she puts her hand puts his arm between her tits. So what is it like here? Are they going to show it, or are they going to censor it? And I'm just going to have to go back to hitomi.la to get it again.
だから、ね、残りをあなたにしてほしいの。お願い。
I'm also very conflicted about the secret training CG, because I don't know if I should crop out the cleavage or if I should keep it in. But I'm playing it by ear for the VODs version. And, you know, this is the moment I've been waiting for. But the way she asks hits me even harder than I was imagining. I was always going to say yes, but I find myself nodding before I even know what's happening. With great haste, I take the sheet we got from the cabana to somewhere more secluded, throw it down, and set up a parasol. I gesture for Kaguya to take a seat. She nodded, kneels down, and displays her back to me.
では、よろしくね。
Well, isn't that unfortunate? It looks like I was right. I was right? It was the first option. She lowers her swimsuit to her waist and pulls her long hair over her shoulders while covering her breasts. Then she looks over and smiles at me. Right. It takes everything I have to grunt out that response. This is far sexier than anything I could have ever imagined or anticipated. That goes not just for the glimpses of side boob, but also her inviting gaze. Look, all I'm saying is the secret training CG, well, I don't know yet. I didn't pay attention to this CG in the Hitomi La thing. I don't know what you'd call it. List, the CG list. But also her okay, yeah. Her seductively tight hips and plump ass and thighs. But it's her exposed back that captivates me most of all. Is she sure about this? She really wants me to spread lotion over her back. Well, you know, while you two may not be dating, it's not like she's opposed to it. Just the thought of touching her is making me giddy. My hands will be sliding all over her, smearing a slippery liquid. I mean, okay, listen. I understand. I understand very much why they've censored the last CG and why they're censoring this one. Because, like, with the wording, it's just... the wording alone is too lewd for an all ages version, right? This is a real pervy, isn't it? And like basically as close to sex as we could get without actually doing it. Okay, hang on a minute. That's called foreplay. All right, and you aren't doing that. You're just rubbing lotion on her back. My mind races with such thoughts, completely distracting me from the task at hand. And I'm so busy trying to quieten the intense arousal that I haven't even managed to open the bottle of lotion yet.
リク
Don't look at me like that.
この状態で放置されていると恥ずかしいわ。早くして。
Right. She mercilessly, in my opinion, takes on a seductive tone when urging me to start. I hurriedly nod and pop open the bottle. And then I squirt a bunch onto my hand, rub them together, and lean in toward her back. Damn it, my hands are shaking.
ほら、早く。
Don't look at me like that. Alright, Kaguya. I grip my teeth to try and stop the trembling before sliding my hands over her back with resolve. Squelch, okay. And, yeah, okay, yeah, of course. Why is this making my hands feel so good? My slippery hands feel like they're melting as they follow the curves of her dainty white skin. Every place the oil spreads starts to glisten, further seducing my gaze. Well, look, at least because everywhere you touch everywhere the oil touches it glistens. That means you don't have to. That means you know the places you've already been over, so you don't have to reapply oil there. Never mind. I find my hands faltering as I try to run them over her.
もう少し強くしてもいいのよ。隅々までお願いね。
Meanwhile, Kaguya is as composed as ever. Well, yeah, she's in her element. What'd you expect? She gently urges me with the aura of an older woman, with no hint of shame to be seen. This pushes me to the brink once more. Every nook and cranny of your back. Right.
あら、背中以外も塗りたいの？
Of course not.
なんだ、残念。
She's clearly having her fun teasing me again, but it doesn't feel bad in the slightest. I'm so far head over heels for this girl. How much easier would it be if my hands could tell her how I feel? I think at the corner of my mind as my fingers continue to trace the bumps of her back, smearing the lotion in. At which point, her back squirms ever so slightly, but ever so seductively. Instinctively, I desire to see more, and so I repeat what I did. Okay, you get it, right? Kaguya? She starts squirming more and more, so I stop for a moment and raise my head.
なんでもないわ。ちょっとくすぐったかっただけ。
It just took a little. Okay, yeah. She says nonchalantly.
気にしないで続けて。背筋ばかりじゃなくて、脇腹の方まで。
Isn't that gonna tickle even more?
くすぐったがってほしいの？
Yes. I mean, no. Of course not.
だったら、塗るのに集中してもらえると嬉しいわ。多少体をくねってしまうかもしれないけど、さっきも言った通り、気にせずに。
Okay, I'm thinking a bit here. Look, okay, the secret CG, the secret training CG isn't the first time they hid a CG that doesn't really show anything that would be NSFW, right? But the fact that they did this, the fact that they're doing it again with this one means that it's lewd enough where it would be worrying to show, in the all ages version, right? And the one thing I can think of as to why they would hide both this one and the other one is because of titty. I mean, basically, right? With this one, it'd probably be because of the side boob, and with the other one, it's probably because of the enhanced cleavage. Let's go with that. Fair. We might be in the shade of the parasol, but I should still aim to get this done as soon as possible, unless it has to do with a certain moment in the CG, right? Right? I can imagine the reason they would hide the entirety of the secret training CG is because of the one moment where his arm is between her tits. With this one, maybe it's because he grabs side boob. Who knows? There's no completely hiding from UV rays. Worst case, she might end up with a horribly uneven tan. Okay, I'm gonna go for it. Admittedly, I was a little spaced out and not fully concentrating. I pulled myself together while reapplying some lotion to my hands. I rubbed my hands over her shoulder blades before following her seductive curves down to her waist. I arrive at the plump bulge that announces the start of her ass, where I conscientiously rub my hands. The more I go, the more Kaguya squirms and twists. Her glistening back wriggles in a way that's not simply erotic, but tempting as well. That's even more reason for me to focus to quieten the arousal. I grit my teeth so hard you could probably hear them, endeavoring to separate my mind from the sensations as I continue. You know, Riku suddenly becomes a poet whenever he's trying to not get hard, or yeah, he not transmigrate in this instance. I can't forget about her sides. Squelch. Cause like, okay, I'm just gonna say this about this sort of trope, right? I have just accepted that anytime this trope happens, right, the main reason why they do it is to showcase how much the girl likes the guy, right? So it doesn't really bother me that much when the guy starts rubbing areas that are very easy to reach by the girl, because the whole purpose of rubbing her back with lotion or sunscreen is, you know, the contact. It's not because it's a hard to reach area, even though it probably is. But to be fair, you know, I'm sure there are more girls that can reach that can you know, reach behind them than there are guys who can. Huh? She twists as if attempting to flee, while stifling whatever sound was about to come out of her mouth. Naturally, I stop and raise my head again. She was so composed a moment ago, but now she's biting her lip to stop herself from making a sound. But okay, hang on a minute, Kaguya. I don't like what you're implying there. I mean, I do, but you're in public, so more squelching. She trembles and squirms, and it's so sexy, I find myself gulping. Listen, I don't know. I don't think this sound effect, the NGH sound effect, is him gulping, but yeah. Her crotch is just as alluring as her boobs. No man could look away when she's squirming like that. But no matter how alluring it is, I must control myself. I don't know, maybe you should help her tan... maybe you should help her apply suntan lotion to her thighs as well.
そう。そのまま続けて。
I raised my head again to see her smiling seductively at me, her composure regained. I gritted my teeth. I nodded and resumed smearing lotion down her sides, just as she asked me to. Okay. When I do so, she moans and squirms, squishing her plump curves out of shape. It's so extreme that I wonder if she's not being tickled, but simply doing this to seduce... Fucking Christ. Doing this to seduce me. Yeah, you know, I'm sure, Riku, I'm sure she's doing this to seduce you and is definitely not blatantly getting aroused over your touch. She said it'll be torturing if I stop now, which makes it sound like I'd be blueballing her. Well, you're not wrong. But also blueballing yourself. Does this mean it feels so good that she doesn't want me to stop? Well, I will say he's on the right track, right? At least this time around, he doesn't just think that everything she does to seduce him is just for teasing purposes, right? So this is character development. This is character development. Or was she talking about me? Perhaps she doesn't want me to stop because she's enjoying watching me resist. Never mind. Goodbye character development. It was nice knowing you. Maybe she wants to see me hold out all the way to the end. Either way, I'm so turned on I feel dizzy. My hands speed up, getting more enthusiastic and forceful with the task in hand. Get it? Because he's using his hands? Never mind. I trace my hands repeatedly over the seductive curves that lead from her side to her hips. And then I go back across her squirming back, making sure the lotion is spread evenly all over. All the while keeping the arousal of the sights and sensations locked deep inside me. I'm done. I'm done. By the time I finally finished smearing lotion all over her, my shoulders are heaving with every breath I take. Listen. Listen. Riku, there's still an area that you didn't go over, alright? Look, just because it's covered by the swimsuit doesn't mean it wouldn't appreciate some, smearing. What? Yeah. Anyway, you touch her ass. Yeah, Kaki giggles at me while continuing to squirm for some reason.
私が体をくねるのがたまらなくて。でも、必死にこらえ続けてくれたのよね。
You saw right through me.
当たり前よ。もう。花だったらずっと可愛い顔をしっぱなしなんだもの。こっちがたまらなくなってしまうわ。
You know, maybe the reason they didn't show the CG is because they didn't want to show that, because there are some areas that Riku was touching that would be too scandalous, or she was actually just getting wet. With another giant seductive twist of her hips, she shuts her eyes to take in everything she's feeling. Her light is written all over her body, which seems to be doing everything it can to tempt me. That proves to be a problem. All of a sudden, her arm slips right off her chest. Oh, okay. So that's the reason. Perhaps some of the lotion dribbled down onto it. Either way, the result is that her bulging boobs have now jiggled free of her arms, exposing not just her areola, but the entirety of those bright pink nipples. Despite the shock of it all, you won't be surprised to know I end up ogling hard, my eyes rooted to the spot. So, once I realize that I'm doing what I'm doing, I'm overwhelmed with guilt and immediately start to apologize. But in the middle of doing so...
Rick.
Oh, well, shit. She gives me a look that cuts me right off. And then she asks a question that to her must have been more pressing than trying to hide her breasts.
勃起できる体だったら、これでしてくれていた?
Believe me, he would have been hard way before that. She looks over to me with a mischievous smile. Of course it would have. The blood rushes to my head, leading to me shouting out the answer. Unfortunately, it's rushing to the wrong head. But I don't stop there. I'd have gone further than that. I would have, just gone straight for... forget it. I never said anything. I immediately spin away, unable to look her in the eyes. I was about to blurt out the worst thing ever. Maybe the worst thing ever if they weren't into you, but she's literally letting you stare at her tits, so I don't think it'd be that bad. Thank goodness I caught myself in time to jam my mouth shut. She's smart enough to have worked out what I was about to say. A cold sweat breaks out all over me. I doubt she's about to apologize for teasing me too much. She might be very tolerant, but telling her I was about to launch myself at her is completely a step too far. So I'm sure she's angry. The question is whether she'll tell me off, be exasperated, or straight out be disgusted. Maybe it is a gulp, but that's not what a gulp sounds like. I clench my eyes shut in embarrassment. This might just be how my first love comes to an end. I probably allowed myself to get carried away because of how accepting Kaguya always is. That's what led to me blurting that out. You know, I will say, this is sort of my one critique to the sort of teasing character, right? Especially if it's being used in a way where the character is obviously doing it to mask her true feelings for the main character. But at the same time, they do it to seduce the main character. But if the main character is as dense as someone like Riku, the teasing sort of backfires, right? And I understand it's not the fault of the girl in this situation, because, you know, they're laying it on pretty fucking thick whenever they're trying to tease the main character. But it's the fault of the writers for writing such a dense protagonist. Right? Sure, they do it on purpose, but that doesn't change the fact that it's annoying when the main character doesn't see the very fucking obvious signs. Like Kaguya literally letting him see her tits. So, you know, while Kaguya, as the character, I love her very much. The route, I'm really not liking. And it's all because of Riku. It's 99% because of Riku and how he's written in the route, especially in this route. But there's no taking back those words now. So I'm just gonna have to take Kaguya's response like a man. Huh? I find it strange that no words of anger or disgust have been flung in my way. In fact, Kaguya still hasn't said a single word. I look back at her, desperate to know what's going on. Only to have my breath taken away. Kaguya's gone bright red. She's curled herself up slightly and is staring down to the ground. I'm about to ask what's wrong when
忘れられるわけがないわ。
she whispers faintly. Her long, downcast eyelashes tremble in embarrassment.
忘れるなんて無理よ。
There's no longer a trace of composure in her voice or expression. All of the maturity I've come to expect from her has vanished. It's almost as if Kaguya
だって
is just a girl right now. She continues to whisper.
男性にあなたに女として求めてもらえて、だけどあなたは無理やりはしたくないという理性も持っていてくれて、それはつまりあなたは私のことを大事にしたいと思ってくれているのよね。
She finally timidly turns her eyes toward me. She's embarrassed and confused. Her eyes sway as if she doesn't know what's going on.
嬉しいけど、それ以上に恥ずかしくてしょうがないの。恥ずかしいのに胸を隠せないの。どうしても隠せないの。
Yeah, thank God they're in a secluded area.
ただただ自分の中で今まで知らなかった音が鳴り響き続けるばかりで。
Hey, you want me to you want me to you want me to you know you want me to you want me to you want me to you want me to feel that feel your heartbeat in your chest or some never mind.
わからないの。私はどうしてこうなってしまっているの？ねえ、教えて。リック、どうしてなの？
I don't think you should be asking about Riku what's going on. He doesn't know half of the shit I don't think he knows half of the shit that's happened in this route. The breath has been caught in my throat this entire time. My heart is pounding like a jackhammer, stopping me from breathing. This means that I have her answer. She also... The moment I realize it, there's no stopping me. For the first time in my life, I find myself needing to work up the courage and get it all out there. Finally. I'm sorry. To me or to her? I can't forget about it either. I could never forget hearing those words from the girl I like.
リック、好きな、それって
Yeah, I've only got eyes for you now, Kaguya. It's been that way for a while, actually. I could just never say it. I want you, Kaguya. All of you. Your heart, body, and soul, and especially your tits. That's how much I like you. I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna put it out there. Listen to me, Kaguya.
はい。
I really like you, Kaguya. May I have the honor of being your boyfriend? Kaguya trembles. I can see a light glowing inside her wide-open eyes. She breathes a heated sigh before smiling gently at me.
これは恋なのね。私はあなたに恋をしていたのね。
There's delight in her voice, but reassurance too. She's finally figured out what that ringing in her chest is.
あなたとあなたも一緒だったのね。
Yeah, I think.
なんて嬉しい。いつ つの間にか、つながれていたのね。私たち。
We were pretty insistent about making one, to be fair.
あなたがそんな私を受け入れてくれたからよ。
She looks away for a moment, pursing her lips together. It seems longing in a way, but it's her way of gathering her resolve. Her instincts are guiding her expression. Before long, her lips slowly part.
お受けします。いえ、私からもお願いいたします。どうか私の恋人になってください。
She says, her smile brimming with the elegance and courtesy of a princess. I feel like our inexperience and awkwardness led to us doing things in an awfully roundabout manner. But honestly, none of that matters anymore. Not now that she's my girlfriend. Now that we both know how special we are to each other.